Today we are going to start NCERT 11th Standard Physics, 21st June 2021, an introduction to physics. Okay. First, we have to see about physical world. In that, what is science and what is scientific method. Science. What is science? Science is a systematic attempt to understand natural phenomena in as much detail and depth as possible, and use the knowledge so gained to predict, modify, and control phenomena. Okay. Now, scientific method. So, scientific method involves several interconnected steps. First thing, systematic observations, controlled experiments, qualitative and quantitative reasoning, mathematical modeling, prediction and verification, falsification of theories. Okay. All this comes under scientific method. Next, natural science can be divided into broadly into three. One is physics, then chemistry, and then biology. Okay. Now we will see the basics of physics. So, naturally we are seeing so many happenings around us. We see the sun rising in the east and setting in the west. We have observed tides during normal day and during full moon day. The velocity of flow of water. And we have come across so many things we were observing day-to-day life. So all these things, observation comes and interacts with us, with our senses. The human physiology by itself has different sensors. Through eye we used to see roughly around 330 nanometers to 720 nanometers. This 320 nanometers to 720 nanometers is a visual spectrum. But at the initial stage we don't know what these wavelengths are. And through conducting so many experiments, we have found out these are the wavelengths for different color. And what is visual spectrum? Visual spectrum of human beings will vary to another one-to-one species. And so many experiments were conducted. And through years we used to listen music, sound, and we see lightning. All these things are naturally occurring phenomena. But we don't know when it is going to rain. They have calculated, after doing so many observations, roughly they can say when it will rain roughly. So the idea is we must have concrete measurement, concrete value, concrete prediction, and science is moving towards that approach, scientific methods. So by science we can predict, modify and control. So we can predict what is going to happen. We can modify a particular process, and we also have the power of controlling that system. Okay. In scientific method, we have told that mathematical modeling. So whenever a process happens, something has been found out, we have to make it as an equation or a mathematical formula or a mathematical modeling. For example, the force between two charges is directly proportional to the product of charges and inversely proportional to the distance square. And finally, for removing the constant of proportionality, they have introduced a constant, which is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon r. So now we know what is the force between two charges, and we have said in a mathematical formula. So mathematical modeling is one of the important things in physics. Whatever real-time observation you happen to see or modify, usually it has to be expressed in the form of mathematical equations or modeling. And one thing I want to tell, at one point of time, after carrying out so many measurements the system may fail. The system won't work. But as Edison rightly pointed out, he said, I have found 1,000 ways by which the system will not work. Telling a system in this direction will not work itself is a finding. So you should not worry about whether it will reach successfully or failure. Both are accepted. Success also accepted. From success, some modification will be done and then they will proceed. Failure also accepted. Failure indicates that you should not move in that direction. That itself is a experiment, a knowledge. Okay. With this idea, we have so many classifications in physics. Mathematics is highly involved. Mathematics, you have to be very strong, especially vector calculus, algebra, trigonometry. All the topics what you have studied and yet to study are all important. You cannot separate mathematics and physics. It is both interconnected. Okay. With this short introduction, we will move on to the next topic in the next session. Thanks for watching. Nandri.